Okay, so jumping right into the look, I'm going to start off with my brows today. And for that, I'm using my Benefit Ka-Brow. This one is in the shade 5. Going to start off with that in order to fill in and shape my brow. And then I'm going to go in with my Brow Wiz from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This one is in the shade Ebony. And this is just going to further define the brow and darken it a little bit. And then I'm moving on to the eyes. I'm going to start off with some concealer. I'm going to be using my Tarte Shape Tape on the lids in order to prep and prime them before moving into eyeshadows. For this look, I'm going to start off with my Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. As you can see, it's very dirty. And I'm going to grab the Golden Ochre shadow from the palette and just apply that onto the entire surface of my eye using a fluffy blending brush. This is just going to ensure that everything, like the concealer, stays in place and that everything applied on top of it is going to go on nice and smoothly. Using the same exact brush, I'm going to be grabbing Venetian Red from the palette, and I'm going to start off by applying that on the outer V and then blending that in into my crease. And I'm going to be blending it in a little at a time, so making sure that I'm building up that product in order to get a better color payoff. I don't want to go in too heavy with it right away because I feel like that creates a little bit of an issue when you're trying to blend the eyeshadow out. So just starting off a little at a time and then blending the color intensity up until I'm happy with it. And then I'm taking my Naked Heat palette, grabbing the shade Scorched with my finger and applying that onto the inner 2/3 of the mobile lid area. Going back to the Modern Renaissance palette, I'm taking the shade Venetian Red once again, but this time I'm grabbing it with a smaller blending brush in order to be more precise with my application, and just taking that shade and applying it onto the outer V in order to really define it. For my winged line, I'm going to be working with my Kat Von D Beauty Tattoo Liquid Liner. This one is in the shade Trooper, which is just really black. I'm going to be giving myself a nice wing with that before moving on to some lashes. For today's look, I'm going with my Pure Cosmetics lashes. These are in the style Diva. I've been obsessed with these, and I hate saying obsessed just because I feel like it's really ridiculously overused, but I really have been obsessed. Like, I'm not joking when I say that. These have been my go-to lashes whenever I am going to be wearing false lashes, just simply because they're very comfortable to wear, they're very easy to apply, and they just look so flattering. And then I'm just taking my Beauty For Real mascara in order to blend my false lashes with my real lashes before moving on to the face. In order to color correct my dark circles, I'm going to be using my one and only Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector, just applying a nice thin layer of that onto the under eye area before moving on to foundation. For today, I'm going to be using my NARS All Day Luminous Foundation. This one is in the shade Barcelona. So just applying that onto the face using my fingers and then blending everything out using my damp beauty blender before going back to the under eye area in order to conceal. Today, I decided to forego my typical Shape Tape and instead I'm using my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. This one is in the shade Biscuit. I've forgotten how much I actually enjoy wearing this concealer, and then every time I use it, I'm reminded and I'm like, why don't I use it more often? So it's a really, really good concealer, wears really well, really comfortably. As you can see, really high coverage. Let me know if you all want a review on that, and I'd be more than happy to put that together for you all. So yeah, just applying some of that onto the under eye area before blending it out using my damp beauty blender, and of course setting everything in place using my RCMA No Color Loose powder, just taking some of that with my damp beauty blender and dabbing it underneath the eyes. Going back to the eyes, I'm taking my Bella Pierre Waterproof Gel Eyeliner in the shade Ebony, and I'm simply running this along the waterline, but I'm also running it along in between the lashes, on the lower lashes. This is just going to make it to where it doesn't look like just a black line underneath the eyes, and you can smudge it out and just make it look a little bit more smoky with a pencil brush. Going back to the Modern Renaissance palette, I'm grabbing the shade Venetian Red once again using my flat brush from Sigma, and I'm going to be applying that onto the lash line before jumping back into the palette, grabbing Burnt Orange from the palette using my pencil brush and blending that eyeshadow along the bottom out. This is just going to warm everything up and it's going to blend everything together. So the black liner, the Venetian Red eyeshadow, and Burnt Orange, they're all going to combine together and make it look amazing. For contour and for bronzing today, I'm going to be using my Hoola bronzer from Benefit and just applying that using my small contouring brush from Luxie, applying that onto the hollows of my cheeks while swirling the brush upward. This is just going to allow me to blend it all out. Most of the product is obviously going to be along the hollows of my cheeks, but then I'm going to create that bronzing effect by swirling the brush upward. And I'm also going to be applying some of this onto the cheeks. I'm going to skip out on the blush for this look. I just felt like I didn't want to add any more pink reddish tones onto the face since I am planning on doing a red lip or a pretty deep red lip. For a highlight today, I'm going with something a little subtle. This one is the Laura Mercier Radiance Baked Powder in Highlight. I love this because it is very subtle on the cheeks. It's a really, really nice highlight that doesn't overdo it. So just applying that onto the tops of my cheeks, the temple area, of the bridge of my nose, Cupid's bow, chin area, you know, the usual spots. Then I also decided that I wanted to add a little pop of that onto the inner corners of my eyes, so applying that using a pencil brush. Before applying anything onto the lips, I'm going to give them a nice little scrub using my Beauty For Real Lip Revival Sugar Scrub. This stuff is amazing. It smells great, it tastes great, and it gets rid of any kind of dead skin on my lips. This time of year, my lips tend to be a little on the dry side, definitely uncomfortable, especially when I'm going to be applying a matte liquid lipstick. It's just not a good look, and it doesn't feel very good at all, so I just do this, scrub them, I just wipe it away with a towel afterward, and my lips are good to go. And for the lips, I'm going to be applying some of my Ofra liquid lipstick. This one is in the shade Hypno. And then I'm finishing everything off by using my Pixie Makeup Fixing Mist. Not only does this stuff smell amazing, it smells like roses, but it also allows my makeup to stay on all day, and it keeps my skin super hydrated. And that completes this fall look. Thank you all so much for watching. I truly hope that you enjoyed this video tutorial and that you found it helpful. As always, take care, and I will see you all in my next video.